Hey, what's going on, my friend? It's Jeff Newport from ChasingStrength.com. And in today's video, we are doing part 2 of the hidden reason you can't seem to lose weight. All right. So let's just dive a little deeper into this concept of weight loss. I actually prefer to call it fat loss because honestly, if we wanted you to lose weight, well, we could chop off one of your legs and you'd be down 40 to 60 pounds, depending on your current size, right? So really what we're talking about is the loss and elimination of stored body fat. Okay. And we're also talking about the retention and maybe even the gaining, or said in a smarty pants kind of way, like a scientific sort of way, the accrual of lean muscle mass. Okay. So yes, you can lose body fat and gain muscle at the same time. And by at the same time, I mean in the same time frame. So right, I'm not talking about exactly the same moment by moment, but over a 4, 6, 8, 9, 12, 16-week period, however long you want to measure that time frame, it is possible to lose body fat and gain lean muscle tissue, depending on how you structure your program. However, that ain't going to happen if you don't get enough sleep. Now, here's 7 reasons why, according to the scientific literature, that is the case. So hang tight. I think you'll find some of these actually pretty interesting. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these 7 things up here. We'll go one at a time. And I'm not even going to try and pronounce these people's names because my throat's bothering me and I don't feel like trying to stumble through Eastern European names, okay, which some of these are. Number 1, okay, when you sleep less, you have more cravings. And in this particular study, researchers found that participants who slept less experienced leptin decreases. Now, leptin is the hormone that signals fullness or satiety. And interestingly, and conversely, because these two hormones work hand in hand, okay, they're in opposition of one another. The study participants also experienced increases in ghrelin, which is the hormone that stimulates your hunger. It's when you get hungry, right? If you get the rumbly tummy when you're dieting, that's because your ghrelin levels are elevated. And what they found is that this led to heightened hunger and heightened appetite. Shocking. All right. Number 2, less sleep equals a higher BMI. Okay. So BMI is body mass index, and it tends to be the standard by which average people are measured and determined to be overweight, normal weight, or obese, or morbidly obese, or my 600-pound life, you qualify for a TV show kind of obese. Okay. Now, study participants with short sleep in this particular study, they also found they had reduced leptin and elevated ghrelin levels. Okay. And what they found is this possibly explained the increased BMI observed in those with short sleep durations, okay, over the long run. Okay, so said another way, people who are chronically short sleep duration people, is that even a thing? Like if you don't sleep enough, in other words, okay, right, that leads to having a higher body mass index. Kind of saying the same thing as study number 1, but just said a little bit differently. Okay, so number 3, less sleep. And this one I found very interesting. Less sleep equals impaired sugar metabolism. In other words, short sleepers also limit their ability to process sugar or carbohydrates, right? Glucose. Okay, this increases your glucose intolerance, or said another way, decreases your glucose tolerance or metabolism. And this essentially, long story short, makes the carbs you eat more likely to be stored as body fat, regardless of the sex, right? Is it sex or gender? I don't know. Whether you're a man or a woman. All right, number 4, sleep deprivation. Okay, equals a stronger response to food stimuli. So in this particular study, they did some neuroimaging, or PET scans, imaging of the brain, and they showed that sleep-deprived brains produce a stronger response to food stimuli. In other words, it's like turning up the volume on your desires of food. So said another way, if you see normally if you were well slept and you see a commercial for pizza, you may or may not have a desire for pizza. But if you haven't slept, what researchers are saying is if you see that commercial for pizza, you're more likely to order a pizza and go get a pizza than had you slept normally, right, for a standard duration. Okay, so number 5, less sleep equals more food intake. So another study demonstrated how insufficient sleep increases your food consumption, your food intake, more than it reduces your energy expenditure. All right, so apparently when you sleep less than you need to, your body ramps up your metabolism, so you burn more calories. And what this study found is it doesn't matter because you're going to eat more. Okay, you're more prone, more apt to eat more food than you normally would if you haven't slept. Okay, than if you had slept. Make sense? Okay, so number 6, less sleep equals more stomach fat. So another study emphasized the crucial role of sleep in obesity treatment. And besides disrupting leptin and ghrelin, which we talked about before, okay, basically we can call those your hunger hormones, sleep deprivation increases circulating levels of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And increased circulating cortisol levels have been implicated in creating stomach and visceral fat. And finally, but no less important, number 7, less sleep or sleep deprivation equals muscle loss, okay? Now, that's something that we all want to avoid. It's not just gaining body fat, it's losing muscle. The two go hand in hand, okay, or hand in glove if you prefer. So this particular study found that chronic sleep deprivation on a reduced calorie diet, right? Okay, so most people are dieting. So if you combine dieting with reduced calories, you're going to lose muscle. And this particular study demonstrated you will increase your muscle loss by 60%. Okay, it also reduced fat loss by 55%. All right. So this is exactly the opposite of what we're trying to accomplish. We do not want to lose muscle. That's like your metabolic gold. Okay. So apart from your organs, your muscle is what burns calories. Okay. So the more muscle you have on your body, the more calories you can burn. So let me just sum up this, because I think this is probably one of the most important points of all. If you don't sleep and you are in a caloric deficit, okay, not only will you slow down your fat loss by 55%, okay, you will increase your muscle loss by 60%. You will be muscle wasting, essentially. Okay. So it's like setting fire to your metabolic gold, so to speak. All right. So takeaway there, if you are going to reduce your calories, make sure you are getting enough sleep. How much sleep is enough? Well, between 7 and 8 hours a night is preferable. 7 to 9 hours a night is even better. Okay, at least that is what the general consensus from the research that I have seen says. All right, so now what kind of strength training, conditioning, fat loss program should you be on if you are suffering from interrupted sleep and you're getting less than 7 hours and you're trying to dial this in? Well, I recommend you do short duration workouts, right? Like 20, 30 minutes max, 2 to 4 times a week. Okay, very, very simple. If you need some new kettlebell training programs specifically for fat loss, I will leave some links in the description below, okay, along with some more research. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and now you know why it's critically important for you to get sleep, right? If you want to lose body fat, regardless of whether or not you're using bodybuilding methods or kettlebell methods. All right. So if you like this video, click the like button, hit subscribe if you have not already. And, do a friend or family member a solid and share this video with them, especially if they're not getting enough sleep. Okay. Until next time, my friend, stay strong.